Hey guys, it's Morgan from Highland Cycles coming to you with another how-to video. This one's a super simple one. It's going to be how to change that dirt bike tire. And yeah, I know there's a million of these videos out on the internet, but I figured why not do another one for you guys. Here we go, changing a dirt bike tire on a 19-inch rig. Join me. So first off, got to get the air out of the old tire. Because we're not changing it because of a flat, we're changing it because it's worn out and super old. There we go. Take the valve core out. I like this one. I got it from the Matco guy. I'll put a link in the description of actually some pretty cool ones from Motion Pro. Because this is on a Honda, it's got what I like to call the little hat on the valve stem. So it's a little rubber guy. I'll show you why I call it the Honda hat. Looks like a little tiny cowboy hat. There we go. That's off. Now we got to get the rim lock loose. Most Japanese are going to have a 12mm nut on the rim lock. And I know somebody's already going, Morgan, why is the sprocket side up? You're never supposed to work on the sprocket side. Up, and that is true, but we have to break the bead on this thing and then flip it over to then go to work. All right. Now, here's a little trick for breaking beads. So, sometimes you can just push down on it, but this one's been on there a long time. It's not want to do that. So what you do is you take your tire iron, you take it with the curve. You're going to have that going up, right? Like up like this, and you're going to take it and push it down in the rim like that, and then push down. And see, that's not working yet, but here's the super duper tech tip. Take another tire iron, put it in like this, gives you a little more leverage. Got it. Now you should be able to push on it by hand once you get that loose. Then the rim lock, you got to get that pushed in, so I come back here like this. Boom. There we go. Bead's all broken. Now we're going to flop her over. Going to do the same on this side. Take that iron, push it down in there. And this is why having a stand is so handy. You don't have to. You can do this on the ground. But a stand like this just makes it easy. Also, a 5-gallon bucket works, or an old 15-gallon kind of drum works good. So that's doing the same thing. I'm going to pry that down. There we go. Alright, so now, here's what I do. Rim lock is right here. I go off to the side of the rim lock. If I'm standing here, I'm right-handed. I go to the right of the rim lock, not quite a quarter of the way around. Take the tire iron, if you're using one like this, you're going to go in like that. Key here is push down on this side, pull up on this side, down like that. Boom. So when you're working on this side, again, you don't want to do this with the sprocket up because you can bang your knuckles and hands on it. But when you're working on the brake side, what you can do is you can take this and tuck it underneath the brake rotor. That'll help hold them so they don't go flying out. And then we just play leapfrog around. And that's why it's nice to have 3 tire irons. Definitely don't have to. On the trail, it'd be silly to carry 3, but here in the shop, it's nice to have 3. Come back around and get close to that rim lock, and you can go just on the other side of it. Like that. Just loose. Now what I do is take the tube out. So you push in there, reach in here. Pull that sucker out, get it out of the way. All right, now, a lot of people have different ways of doing, well, all of this, honestly. It's all a little bit different, but I like to then continue pulling this up off this side. So now I'm going to come over here, go to the same place I started, but now I'm going to stand over here because it's a little easier. Take the curved thing and come in like that, hold on the other side. Now you got to pull this up, so down the center. We're going to work our way around. Same way, we'll just leapfrog, tire irons. As you get close, you can just grab it, peel it off of there. There we go. Tire off. Now it's time to go back on with a new one. So we're going on with the Parker DT, which I really like from Kenda, especially for the desert around here. And this is definitely desert season here because the mountains are closed and cold and snowy. And I like to run the Kenda Parker in the hard direction. Let me show you. On the Parkers, right there, one way is hard, one way is intermediate. I like to run it in the hard direction because I think it brakes better. So we're going to run it this way. This is as the bike is rolling forward, it's going to roll this way. Here is another thing that I do differently than some folks. For me, it makes this whole process way easier. I take the tube and I put it in first. Before I've ever put a bead on this thing, tube goes in. This is a nice heavy duty tube that we're reusing, and they tend to hold their shape. So get that in there. Take our valve core, put it back in so that it stays in shape. Now, take some WD-40. It's just in a squirt bottle, but it's just I buy the gallons of WD-40. I'll put a link in the description for that from Amazon because it's way cheaper than buying it in spray cans. And I like it. So come up here, take my WD. I'm gonna soak this side. And I know I'm getting some on the rotor, but it's WD-40. It goes away. It's not like oil. So there we go. Inspect the rim strip, make sure it's all good, looks good. Now, so I'm gonna pull the tube back, or the whole tire and everything back towards me. I'm taking the tube out and I'm pushing it through the hole in the rim. And then with my hips, I'm pushing forward on the tire. And then I'm gonna work it around on the opposite side. And I'm gonna go and do the part at the rim lock last. So now, you have it over, but it's on the wrong side of the rim lock. If you look, right there, we need to get it over that rim lock. What I like to do, is it like this, take a tire iron, and here beside it, and I'm going to lift up, and with the other tire iron, kind of jam that down. There we go. Now, take this other tire and pull it over, push that rim lock up, and come back. Now it's on the right side. Set her back down. Take our WD. Get this all nice and lubed up. Lubrication is your friend in all aspects of life. So now I'm going to start at the rim lock. Before I finish with it, now I'm starting. Come in here, come over, take my hand, I'm going to push that rim lock up into the tire so that the bead gets between the rim lock and the rim. Come and leave that one there. I'm going to come around, and here in a little bit, like about now, you can let go of that rim lock. Stay on the correct side. And see, I can leave that there. It's just staying there. Eventually, we're going to have to watch it, but right now, it'll just stay in its home. As you're coming around and you get about halfway, what you want to do is push down on this bead to get it to drop down into the tire, like that. There we go. Now, you see it's trying to kind of come up a little bit. So I need to pay attention. So as I come over here, put my hand on it, like that. Come in here, hand on it, like that. Come in here, boom. Now, I'll make sure this is staying down into the drop center. Once you get a certain distance, everything kind of wants to stay in, and it gets a lot easier. So, there we go. If you have to, this, you can finish it with a nice soft dub blow. Boom. Like that. Fortunately, because it went well, the valve stem stayed in its place. See right there, see that's nice and straight coming out? That's good. We want it like that. If it were cocked, we'd have to turn the tire against the wheel and get it straight, but right now that's perfect. Now we're going to put some air in it. Alright, in here with our air chuck. We're putting enough air in it so that the bead pops out all the way around. And it's going to be too much air. But that's okay, because we're just getting the bead set. So now it's all set up, happy. Now we're going to tighten down the rim lock. You always want to put air in the tube before you tighten the rim lock. Because if you don't, sometimes if you tighten that rim lock down, you'll grab the tube and pinch it and maybe not pop it yet, but then as it airs up, it'll pop the tube. So do that, make sure the rim lock goes where it needs to go. It'll pop out if everything's correct. These ratchet wrenches are real nice for this, to make it go way faster. I'll put a link in the description for these. I don't know if you can buy these. These ones are Matco, but Gear Wrench makes some too. So there'll be a link in the description. Again, if you guys buy any of the stuff that I put links in, even if you don't buy it, but if you get to Amazon and then buy something else, it really does help us out quite a bit. So we'd appreciate that. If not, no worries. No big deal. Make sure that's nice and tight. Don't want to go crazy on that because I've actually seen it pull the metal through the rim lock and ruin it. Also don't want to go too loose or the tire or the wheel will spin inside the tire. Now, going to put our Honda hat back on. What that Honda hat does, actually I wish more manufacturers would do it like Honda. They leave a big hole in the rim, and then that hat keeps the dirt and the grime out, the dust and stuff, so hopefully it doesn't pop a tube. And I like it because it allows the wheel to spin or move a little bit in the tire and not rip the valve stem off. So it's kind of nice. Before we put the valve cap on, we're going to check pressure. Here at the shop, I set everybody's tires at 15 pounds when it leaves, because that's plenty to make sure that someone wouldn't get a pinch flat necessarily. But it's honestly, most people are going to lower it down, and it's easier to take air out than it is to put in if you're going out to the trail. Ready to rock and roll. Going to put it back on this older CRF 450 right there. Yeah, thanks guys, appreciate you watching. Hope that helps. I know there's a ton of tire videos. Maybe you saw something new or different in mine. Comment below if it did, if anything's different than what you've already done. Also comment below other ideas you have for do-it-yourself stuff. We just want to keep you guys riding out, having fun. And if you think we've earned it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That means a lot. We're just a little bitty teeny weeny shop here in Western Colorado, trying to go after all those big shops and big channels out there to provide you with even better content and more fun. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you get out, spread the gospel of two wheels, and please, under any circumstances, all circumstances, find some time to ride your dirt bikes.